Hey gang! If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that I always do an Arms Day video each week to show you which guns are the best guns. But of course, that only works for 1 week before it becomes completely irrelevant, so I wanted to do something a little different. This video is going to be something you can keep coming back to again and again to compare against any Arms Day packages that you get. Without further ado, these are my top 10 Gunsmith guns. Number 10, the Garris D. The Garris D is a hand cannon by Haka with high stability and aim assist and above average reload speed. It suffers from low range and a magazine size of only 7, but has a decent time to kill of 0.86 seconds, only requiring 1 headshot and 2 body shots to get the kill. Very forgiving for a hand cannon. Because of its low range, I highly recommend perks that increase its range stat, like Rangefinder or Rifled Barrel. The other perk doesn't really matter. As long as you've got Rangefinder and Rifled Barrel, it's a good Garris D. Recommended for people who enjoy using hand cannons, but maybe aren't so good at hitting headshots with them. Number 9, the Irene RR4 Sniper Rifle by Amalon. The Irene RR4 belongs to a very exclusive group of sniper rifles that can kill a Guardian through an overshield, which means the Irene can kill Guardians who are in their super as well as Guardians who have just been revived in Trials of Osiris. The only other two Year 2 sniper rifles that can do this are the 1000 Yard Stare and the Still Piercer, which is a Hunter exclusive sniper rifle. If you don't already have a 1000 Yard Stare that has pretty good rolls on it, the Irene is certainly worth considering. It has the Falcon RR1 low zoom scope, which I think is excellent, as well as Quick Draw and Snapshot as potential perks, which are good on any sniper rifle. You could also do something about its horrible stability, but frankly it doesn't really matter, because hopefully you're just getting headshots anyway. The only problem with the Irene is that it has horrible aim assist. The 1000 Yard Stare beats out the Irene RR4 if they have the exact same perks, but the Irene RR4 can be rolled with any perks, so again, if you don't already have a good 1000 Yard Stare, the Irene is worth picking up, but if you already have a good 1000 Yard Stare, then you might want to skip the Irene as well as any other sniper rifles that the Gunsmith sells. Number 8, the Suros DIS-43 Scout Rifle. The Suros DIS-43 is probably one of my favorite guns that he sells. It boasts an incredibly high range, stability, aim assist, and a magazine size of 19. It suffers from a below average reload speed and a below average time to kill of 1 full second. Despite that, it's a lot of fun to use, and is very forgiving for a gun, and especially for a scout rifle, requiring only 2 headshots and 2 body shots to get the kill. I highly recommend getting full auto on your Suros DIS-43. It's way more fun with full auto. It also benefits from increased stability perks like Injection Mold or Hammer Forge, and really any of the Suros sights are good. You can't go wrong with a Suros sight. Highly recommend this gun to anyone who's not good at getting headshots and needs to practice, or anyone who's not really good with scout rifles and needs to practice, or really anyone who wants to have a bit of fun with a full auto scout rifle again. Number 7, the Suros AR I41 Auto Rifle. The Suros AR I41 is a mid-impact TR auto rifle with high stability, high aim assist, and an incredibly high magazine size of 43. It has a low range and a low reload speed, so if you can, try and get perks that increase its range, and maybe Outlaw to increase its reload speed. I personally prefer Hammer Forged, Small Bore, Outlaw, and the Suros SR43 ranged combat scope. Normally I would go with something with a higher aim assist, however, it really does benefit from any range at all. Because it is a mid-impact TR auto rifle, its time to kill is kinda high at 0.9 seconds if you hit all headshots. That's 10 headshots or 13 body shots, which would be a 1.2 second time to kill. Now, if you're not a fan of auto rifles, don't worry about skipping this one. However, if you're new to auto rifles or you just want to try it, feel free to pick it up. Number 6, the Akuma Katoch HC4 Hand Cannon by Amalon. The Akuma Katoch has a lot of good things going for it. It has a high rate of fire, high stability, high reload speed, above average aim assist, and a magazine size of 9. It does however suffer from horrible range. Its time to kill is a very quick 0.73 seconds, which is 3 shots to the head. If you can somehow mitigate its horrible range, then you'll find that this hand cannon is pretty good. I use Rifled Barrel on mine. If you don't have any stats that increase the range, then it's not worth picking up. The only reason this incredible hand cannon is so far down on the list is because hand cannons are simply not great right now, and therefore really not worth using unless it's the last word. If hand cannons are totally your thing though, consider picking up a Akuma Katoch, preferably one with Rifled Barrel. Number 5, the Thesan FR4 Fusion Rifle by Amalon. The Thesan FR4 has an incredibly high stability stat and impact stat, making it the best legendary fusion rifle in the Taken King right now. The only downsides are its charge time and the fact that it's a fusion rifle. Before I get into the perks, I want to explain a few of the stats on the fusion rifle. The first stat is charge time, which determines how quickly you fire the weapon. The second stat is stability, which determines the spread of the bolts. The third stat is range, which determines how fast the bolts travel. Stability is the most important stat on a fusion rifle, as the tighter the cone, the more likely it is that you'll get a kill. The Thesan FR4 requires that you hit the enemy with at least 5 out of the 7 bolts that it fires. I use braced frame on mine, although there is an argument to be made for accelerated coils. Accelerated coils won't actually decrease the number of bolts that you need to kill, so you could potentially use it to increase its abysmal charge rate. That doesn't stop me from using braced frame on mine, along with rangefinder, hot swap, and the torch scope. Unlike most other fusion rifles, my fusion rifle does occasionally get a kill. Number 4, the Suros JLB47 rocket launcher. This rocket launcher has an above average blast radius and velocity, arguably the only 2 relevant stats on a rocket launcher. This makes it a good rocket launcher. Its blast radius and velocity stats are both higher than its cousin, the Suros JLB42, making the Suros JLB42 utter trash. Seriously, there's no reason to buy the Suros JLB42 ever while the Suros JLB47 exists. The best possible role is hard launch, heavy payload, grenades and horseshoes, and javelin, although as long as you have grenades and horseshoes and javelin, you're probably fine. The only downside to the JLB47 is its poor magazine size of 2, however, where this gun really shines is Trials of Osiris, where 2 is a fine magazine size. If you've been looking for a legendary rocket launcher to go with your Trials of Osiris loadout, then the JLB47 is as good as it gets. With the right perks, it's even better than the Vertigo. Number 3, the Arminius D auto rifle by Haka. The Arminius D is a high rate of fire, low impact archetype auto rifle, much like Doctrine of Passing. Its time to kill is 0.86 seconds with all headshots, and 1 second with all body shots, making it one of the fastest time to kill archetypes in the game. This particular model boasts very high aim assist, high reload speed, and an above average magazine size. It does however suffer from below average range and below average stability. You absolutely cannot use this gun without a stability perk on it. I use braced frame on mine, and I also mitigate its low range with rangefinder. Equipped with these perks, Arminius D has the potential to be one of the scariest guns on the battlefield. I highly recommend this gun to anyone who's ever wanted to use an auto rifle, especially if you don't already have a Doctrine of Passing. Just make sure it has braced frame and rangefinder on it, and you're good to go. Number 2, the Suros PDX 45 Pulse Rifle. Before the nerf, this gun was an absolute monster, and even after the nerf, it still hits like a truck. It has so much going for it, it's insane. It is a high reload speed, high aim assist, high rate of fire, high magazine size, and a very high stability stat. In fact, its only downside is its tragically poor range stat. The Suros PDX 45 has a time to kill of 0.92 seconds. That's 3 bursts as long as you hit them in the head at least 7 times. There's been a lot of debate as to which perks you want on your Suros PDX 45. One camp believes that because of the low range stat, you want any perks that boost its range. Another group believes that because it's a pulse rifle, stability will always be the most important stat, and you'll want any perks that boost its stability, and forget about range. I personally think that both are important, but I think the most important perk that you want is counterbalance because the recoil pattern is pretty bad. I like mine with small bore and fitted stock, although if I had one with small bore, counterbalanced, and hammer forged, I would use that in a heartbeat. If you're a fan of pulse rifles, there's really no reason to use any other pulse rifle than the Suros PDX 45. It just has better stats than the Hawksaw in every category except for range. And frankly, with the right perks, it really won't matter in the end anyway. If you think you might like pulse rifles, or you use them frequently, you can't go wrong with the PDX 45. And finally, the number 1 gunsmith gun, the COSUS SR4 Scout Rifle by Amalan. For those of you who watch my streams, this probably wasn't a huge surprise. The COSUS SR4 is my favorite legendary primary in the game right now. I love it so much that I actually have 2, one for PvP and one for PvE. It has an incredibly fast time to kill of 0.8 seconds, high range, an above average reload speed, and a magazine size of 12. It suffers from low aim assist and pretty average stability, but it's nothing that you can't fix with some perks. On my Crucible gun, I use Third Eye, but really, as long as you have the target acquisition scope and increased stability in the middle tree, you can use whatever perks you feel like. For PvE, I use one with Triple Tap and Firefly, so it completely replaced Hung Jury for me. The only problem with this gun is if you have trouble hitting 3 consecutive headshots, then the time to kill shoots up to 1.2 seconds. So if you can't hit headshots, then the COSUS SR4 might not be for you. It really is one of my favorite guns, and I just absolutely love using it. That's it for my top 10 Gunsmith guns. I hope it was helpful. Any questions, comments, complaints, criticisms can be directed to the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.